Hello and welcome back to AIBC Summit YouTube channel, where we feature some of the key brands and innovators in the space. Now here with me is a company that everyone should know about in 2022. Chief Marketing and Business Development Officer at Sekuritance, Antonio Bileci, joins me today to discuss. Antonio, thank you so much for meeting me today. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. A bit cold here in Malta, but all's good. All's good. Looking forward to having this interview, basically.
Well, great to have you on the show, and you have a very interesting background. So could we start off with that? Tell us about yourself and what you do.
So yeah, hi, I'm Antonio Bileci. I'm from Malta, born and bred. I'm the CMBDO at Sekuritance. Me, myself, I come from an iGaming, traditional finance, tech, affiliate software, and blockchain-based industry, basically, with regard to my background. I've been working within the blockchain space, I think, since 2019, working mostly with non-custodial exchanges and centralized exchanges. And I joined Securities right after their token generation event back in June, basically. And yeah, the background itself, that's St. Paul's Bay, basically. We had commissioned an artist to actually design St. Paul's Islands.
All right, excellent. So let's just kind of start. Give me an overview of what Sekuritance is doing and how it came about.
So yeah, Sekuritance. So Sekuritance, in a general sense, is a centralized finance and decentralized finance RegTech ecosystem. It delivers top compliance, regulated transaction monitoring, and identity management to merchants and individuals alike. Now, with regard to the Sekuritance platform, it is built as a compliance one-stop shop, and it is built as a CaaS sort of model, a compliance as a service model. We provide all elements of compliance to multiple industries. When I'm mentioning elements of compliance, we provide KYC, both automated and on a manual compliance level. Basically, most organizations that utilize automated KYC engines, the traditional industry basis is at around 85% verified level, and then that 15% overflows as failed KYC verifications within the sphere. Now, most organizations and the resources that they need to actually go through those failed checks, it's quite hefty. They'll need certain compliance managers in-house to get in touch with certain users to figure out why they might have failed. Most of the time, it's because of small errors with regard to wording. Some I don't know, they might have written their date of birth wrong. They might have put in a spelling mistake in their address and whatnot. Most of the time, we've seen this happen, and we have our own in-house compliance managers that actually go through most of these automated fails. So then we provide a bit of a service level agreement that around 99.1% of people that go through our KYC verification engine end up passing, basically, which is pretty cool. Outside of KYC, we also provide KYB. We provide AML both for individuals and business with regard to checks, and we can also provide certain repetitive checks on these businesses and individuals. And we also provide on-chain analysis checks. Now, with regard to on-chain analysis checks, what an organization or individual can do is put in their let's say their wallet or a user's or business's wallet within our platform. They choose the chain on which they'd want to review this wallet, and then a risk score is provided to them based on certain activities within that wallet. Obviously, there are a lot of elements that could be signaled within this wallet. Could be, for example, that this wallet has been involved in darknet activities, terrorist financing, high-risk P2P exchanges, high-risk centralized exchanges as well. And basically, this all shows with regard to percentages of risk, basically. Outside of that, we also provide a multi-factor 3DS V2 engine for credit card processing. We provide a secure vault, which is PCI DSS certified. And yeah, and apart from that, we also provide a third-party watchdog to protect all the people with regard to scams. So then they can report it. So then we'll make sure that any and all other individuals and businesses might not go through the same thing. Outside of that, basically, we also have a transaction monitoring product that is currently utilized quite a bit with regard to launchpads. And basically, our target audience in general focuses mostly on blockchain-based industries, but we're also quite integrated within the fintech and banking industries. Most of the time, if you had to look at blockchain-based projects that we target, we're looking at layer 1, layer 2 ecosystems, where we, as a compliance one-stop shop, integrate with these ecosystems to make sure that all dealings within all of the products that launch on them are of a clean and compliant manner and of good standing. We provide our services to centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges on an institutional level, and due to institutions needing an element of enhanced due diligence. And one main focus that we've been growing with quite a bit are the elements of launchpads, basically. Yeah, I think I pretty much wrapped that all up. And of course, fiat rails with regard to on-ramp and off-ramp, basically, within the blockchain space.
Well, that's really a mouthful. I mean, you really embody the title multi-dimensional platform. And now can you describe the products in the Sekuritance RegTech suite?
Oof. I mean, we have quite a few products, and we're basically launching new ones every day, given that the blockchain sphere is evolving quite a bit. So yeah, let's start off with Secure Transact. As I was mentioning previously, basically Secure Transact is our KYC, KYB, AML, PEP, sanction screening, and AML tools, basically. It leverages advanced technology to better understand the reasons behind the risk of a transaction, basically, which in turn helps us better assess fraud exposure. And within our internal tools and databases, we provide these scores, basically, and these verified checks. Outside of that, like I said, we have Secure Vault, which is our 3DS. Our Secure Vault, which is our PCI DSS vault, which basically holds all of the data that we have fully encrypted. Outside of that, we have Secure.auth. Secure.auth is our multi-factor 3DS V2 verification engine for credit card processing. We have Secure Trace, which is our on-chain analysis tool, which I pretty much mentioned above as well. We have Secure Alert, which is our third-party watchdog, where certain users will be able to give and report on certain scams. And then we have Secure.certify, which is our certification platform, where users will be able to get certification for their KYC and AML. So then these users will be able to utilize these certificates to show that they are of good standing, basically, within our Sekuritance ecosystem. Outside of that, we provide quite a few ancillary products as well. These ancillary products are focused on our onboarding mechanism. Basically, this focuses a lot on launchpads. So, for example, for cryptocurrency projects that wish to start receiving funds to launch, Secure.launch leverages the product suite to provide a compliance-based KYC, KYB, and on-chain analysis service with onboarding users and businesses for token projects. This could be an element of seed rounds, private sales, and public sales as well. Now, we have a real-time onboarding and transaction monitoring dashboard, which provides certain analytics on how the funding rounds are proceeding, based on the number of participants, pledge amounts, GeoIPs, and basically a bunch of other stuff. Basically, projects that want to utilize Sekuritance as their launch partner most of the time will gain access to quite a few products. There's our customizable onboarding form, basically a customizable form suited to their needs with regard to certain geos they want to focus on. Dedicated technical manager, we have the full-on analytics dashboard that I was mentioning before, wallet verification, you have the whole suite of compliance managers to help the project out at the very start. And basically the whole all-in-one compliance partner element, which is basically totally seamless, hassle-free for the project, especially in its youth. And basically it helps them to enable them to concentrate on making their launch as successful as possible, basically. Something else that we also focus on with regard to Secure.launch is VC investor and launchpad aid. Basically, sometimes projects find it quite difficult to find VCs and investors for their seed or private rounds, and using Sekuritance could be of real help to that we are becoming a recognized partner for trusted projects in the space. Though our partner network, we can also get you in touch with certain entities that provide you with additional services, like matching you with select and high exclusive investors and whales, basically to invest in your project, or you can get listed on one of the multiple launch pads that we have partnered with, basically. We also aid in investing capabilities to unlock the tokens based on the schedule and the tokenomics, of course. We also provide an element of marketing aid, but that is quite vast, and given that I'm a marketing, I'll continue talking on that at a later stage. And the element of ancillary services via our third parties. Now, these third parties focus mostly on crypto project advisory as well, and incorporation services, since we've linked up with quite a few CSPs within the European region. Banking aid as well. Sometimes basically cryptocurrency and blockchain-based projects find it difficult to find payment service providers that are crypto friendly, in which case we basically use our knowledge and experience and network basically of partners to try point you in the right direction. And documentation and creation and review. Legal opinions, we're looking at tokenomics, we're looking at white paper, and we aid to review and even aid to create these for these new projects. I think that's basically a bit of a rundown on our product suite. And something else that we launched actually this week is our launch to mainnet with regard to our platform. Now users may be able to do KYC, KYB, AML, and on-chain analysis checks with an element of no monthly minimums, and they can utilize crypto. I think we're one of the first within the industry where you can utilize crypto and pay for certain KYC, KYB checks for individuals and small to medium enterprises that won't incur such big costs on a monthly basis, basically. So for example, if I have an apartment, let's say from a traditional type basis, I have an apartment in New York and I'm renting it out basically. And this person comes in and says, listen, I'm willing to pay you in crypto. I'm willing to pay you 1 BTC. It must be an amazing apartment per month. And this person goes over the moon, but he wants to make sure that this 1 BTC is clean and the person he's dealing with is of good standing. So this person can log into Sekuritance's portal, pay for a KYC check, pay for an AML check, and even pay for a wallet check, basically. So he makes sure that he understands that this person is of good standing. Outside of that, this is basically open to anyone, and they can just log in, sign up, and utilize USDT and USDC basically to pay for certain checks. And if they hold our Skrt token, they end up getting a massive discount. Yeah, done.
Well, congrats on the many product launches you've had. I mean, it's really hard to believe that the project has been here for 2 years since 2020 with this much growth. And you've recently launched your Skrt token, which is a pure utility token. Can you just tell us more about that?
So yeah, the Sekuritance Skrt token was launched back in May. It was done via an IDO/IEO via TrustSwap and Gate. It got launched at I think a raise of around 2 million planned, but we were oversubscribed by around 14 to 15x, which was quite surprising. But given the good backers that we have in the investors and the push from Jonathan's side during that time, it was fantastic, basically. Yeah, so the Skrt token itself, effectively the primary function of the Skrt token is on the processing and logging of compliance and regulatory security and payment related verification tasks. Most of the time, Skrt acts as the underlying payments platform for the Sekuritance product suite, plus numerous software applications. Now, a lot of this works in the back end, and we are slowly introducing the Skrt token within our platform. What I'm referring to basically is that now with this new portal that I've launched, most organizations or most people, individuals, small to medium enterprises and organizations, to be fair, if they wish, can enter our portal and basically purchase certain checks on a pay-as-you-go method. Now, they would be doing this currently in our V1 of our portal release, utilizing USDT and USDC under 3 different chains: Polygon, Ethereum, and BSC, if I'm not mistaken. And within this portal itself, if a certain user that has identified and verified their wallet on the Sekuritance platform would be able to purchase these checks on quite a hefty discount based on the tier level that they are. So we have a total of 4 tier levels with regard to the Skrt token. We have adopters, we have insiders, we have evangelists, and we have partners. And then we have the believers. The believers are those individuals that took part in our IDO and basically are the believers of Sekuritance from the very start. Each of these individuals or businesses that hold these Skrt tokens onto their Web3 wallet, which is integratable onto our portal, will gain massive price discounts on certain checks. We're looking at anywhere between 5 to 70% discounts on certain checks on our platform itself, which basically a KYC and will end up costing a partner $1.25, for example. I might be a little wrong with regard to pricing, but it should be at around that much based on the 70% discount they actually receive. Outside of that, though, in the near future, we'll also have elements of utility within staking introduced within our platform. We'll have farming, and we'll also have Skrt as the full-on underlying payment method within our portal. So basically, people will be able to utilize Skrt completely to pay for certain services within our Sekuritance portal. Outside of that, we also provide multiple benefits for people who hold Skrt based on these tier levels that I mentioned. We're talking about certain benefits on faster customer support. We're talking into quite a large discretionary pool airdrop that is sent out to all users that hold our tokens based on these tier levels. We're also talking about any organization that launch via Sekuritance's compliance suite. We usually gather some of those tokens and airdrop them back to the community, because one thing that is very important to us is our community at the end of the day, based on these tier levels, of course. There are also certain elements with regard to Spotify, with regard to airport lounge and whatnot, basically.
So how has the community's feedback been with Sekuritance as of late, and how has it shaped your company's vision?
I mean, with regard to the community, like I was saying previously, our community is everything. In all crypto projects, one thing I always focus on is the importance of having a strong community to shape the organization from the very start. We were very lucky on this element that a lot of organizations that actually took part in backing Sekuritance helped out with regard to growing the community quite a bit. And our partners as well, we're looking at people within TrustSwap, we're looking at organizations within Axion and Shisha that have been working with us for quite some time. And now I think as of yesterday, basically, we ended up launching our KYC solution via Axion. Something that was pretty cool is that from the very start, once I started the organization right after token generation event, one thing that I focused on is actually hearing the community and seeing what they wanted first and foremost, and they wanted more communication. So first thing I did was I got Jonathan on the line, and we said, listen, we need to do an AMA with our team, and we're going to continue doing these AMAs. So then there's an element of connection to the team. One thing that we provided as well is that once we're launching our portal, especially on a beta version, we wanted to hear what our community wanted to say about it. We wanted to hear what they thought about it. And thank God they were very, very helpful on this. They actually went through our platform, sent over their thoughts, sent over their reviews. And yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, something that is very, very important within, and I say this for all crypto-based projects that we help launch on a compliance level, but also from a marketing level with regard to the aid, is that community is everything. And if you have a strong community, if you have believers in your product, at the end of the day, they'll stick with you. Even during the bears, during the bulls, the community ends up being ambassadors to the actual product. So yeah.
Beautifully said. Yes, one of the factors that you have really great success right now, and you just announced your new partnership with Kyc Network today, posted on Sekuritance LinkedIn a few hours ago. Could you tell us about that?
So yeah, that was yesterday. Axion. Yeah, we've integrated our KYC engine with regard to their new incubation launch facilities. And now basically any organization that wishes to launch via Axion's launchpad basically will have to go through Sekuritance's KYC and AML procedures. Basically, something that is pretty cool within that is our KYC network, which I don't think that I actually went through before, but basically our KYC network helps quite a bit with let's say individuals and small to medium enterprises that wish to work around a quicker and more efficient KYC. So basically, let's say, for example, we're looking at Axion. Let's say an individual provides a KYC and AML check via Axion. Most of the information is already placed within Securities. And then, for example, the same person wants to go through a centralized exchange and start trading on this new centralized exchange that just launched. And if that centralized exchange, for example, utilizes Sekuritance's KYC compliance as a service platform, that user, given that that person had already done KYC on, for example, a launchpad previously and was already verified, if that person goes to be verified on that centralized exchange, basically, that individual will not need to go through all of the KYC checks once again, basically, because most of the time we work on a network of let's say compliance solutions. So in a way or another, if they pass through there, if they utilize the same mail and the same information, most of the time we'd recognize that, and that person will be automatically KYC verified on the centralized exchanges outside of certain terms that they need to follow and whatnot, of course. So yeah, I think that pretty much summed it up, correct? And we have quite a few other partnerships coming up in, I would say, the rest of this week and next week. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. Great stuff. And just to wrap this up, Antonio, is there anything you might want to add in terms of closing remarks, or where can they find out more information about you?
So something that I think is pretty important to state with regard to Sekuritance, and I don't really like to compare and whatnot, but let's say if we had to compare with a lot of tokens on the top 10 to 50 CMCC, CoinGecko, and other listings, basically, the reality is that most have little or no use as a token at all, and some don't even have a product launched in the space at all. They have an idea, a vision, a maybe prototype, basically, and the reality is that they are selling dreams moreover than anything else. Sekuritance, in a way or another, is different. In a way that anyone that has been with us from day one or interface with our solutions already sees it clearly. We actually have a roadmap, we have a plan, we have products and services that people need, and they are usable today. And as we see nowadays with regard to the news and whatnot within the blockchain-based space and even other traditional-based industries, compliance is imperative. Ironically, one of the most used products in the space is in the blockchain space is our KYC and onboarding module, but that represents just 15% of our product offering. So yeah, I mean, the future is bright, and at the end of the day, compliance wins. Yeah, I mean, if anyone would like to follow up with regard to what's coming up with Sekuritance, be sure to check out our Telegram. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Our Discord is always quite active. Yeah, just follow us up on that.
All right, fantastic. Well, you've got a solid roadmap, solid partnerships, solid products and team and community. Congratulations on all your success, Antonio. Thank you so much for meeting me today. And I'm very much looking forward to catching up with you in Dubai.
Fantastic. See you in Dubai.
All right, that is it for myself and Antonio. Thanks for watching AIBC Summit. We'll see you next time.